All right, welcome everyone back to another death battle reaction. I found out that some of these have been doing really well, and I've gotten some comments on some of the videos that I've done from these. So I figured, why not? We'll react to the most recent one and the one that's coming up on, I think, Halloween is when they do another one. I think what I'll start doing is I'll start having like a day where if I'm not feeling up to streaming a full stream, then I'll go back and I'll watch a death battle or do a reactionary video. That way so that I can be able to still be able to put out content without having to do long form streams. I am still in the process of figuring out how all of this is going to work for me. Yeah, what up, B? Yeah, basically we're going to be watching a tribute to a famous, I guess, director of two of my favorite shows. So this is a tribute from a studio that actually used to work closely with this guy. So without further ado, gonna play the video. And when we get through this, I'll post it up on YouTube. And I don't think there'll be any clips or anything that we can put in through this. It could be, but I digress. All right, here we go. Also, animation looks really good this time around.
Versus Maka.
The battle of spunky teens with oversized gardening tools. He's whiz and I'm boomstick.
And
Oversized
it's our job to
gardening
analyze
tools.
their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I remember when Mama Boomstick read me bedtime fairy tales. Stories of heroes and warnings about eating those little berries and quicksand. So much quicksand.
Yet in the world of Remnant, fairy tales are real. Here, huntresses do battle with monstrous Grimm, and there was nothing more exciting than that to Ruby Rose.
Daughter to the world-renowned huntress Summer, who disappeared. Little Red really wanted nothing more than to be a huntress.
Her dedication paid off. Admitted into Beacon Academy 2 years ahead, a premier school for huntsmen and huntresses, Ruby clearly showed prodigious talent.
Not just that, she's got the weapon geek gene just like yours truly. Ruby doesn't leave home without her trusty Crescent Rose. It may look like a high-tech scythe, and it is, but it's also a gun. Ruby made Crescent Rose herself. It's like a dance between Grim Reaper's Choice and a bolt-action sniper rifle.
A dance is fitting, as huntsmen are locked in a never-ending waltz in their battle with the Grimm.
Crescent Rose can switch between sniper and scythe at the press of a button. Ruby's an old hand at flinging and moving it exactly how she wants, despite it being, like, bigger than she is. How does she do it with those noodle arms? The girl can't even throw a punch.
Well, she might not need to, given the strength of her aura. All living beings in Remnant have an aura, except dark creatures like Grimm, though not all of them can utilize it in combat without extensive training. See, aura forms a barrier that blocks fatal blows and even heals wounds.
It can make weapons stronger too. When Ruby slaps a cartridge of dust into Crescent Rose, her aura lights up nature's wrath in man's hand.
Dramatic, but accurate. This dust represents the base elements of the world. Fire, electricity, ice, wind, anti-gravity. Does that last one count?
Rule of cool, Wiz.
Yeah.
She's got the eyes of a hawk, and when she shoots you with dust, a bullet wound's the last thing you'll be worried about. With enough of a boost, ice dust can freeze over whole mechs, and she can power up her kicks to crater military-grade steel.
A person's aura may be limited, but Ruby can keep track of hers with this handy health bar on her not smartphone.
Ruby blasted through Huntress classes with flying colors. Almost right away, she was appointed the leader of her own group, with Weiss Schnee, Blake Belladonna, and Big Sis Yang Xiaolong. Oh, I get it. Team Ruby.
But Ruby's hope for many years of learning with her friends would be dashed as evil machinations spread like wildfire. With a flash of silver light, Beacon had fallen.
Ruby's friends? Dead. Her school? Totally wrecked. Her sister? Disarmed. All because of a lover's spat that went way too far.
Salem saw the world divided, and it was time to say goodbye to any happily ever after.
But Ruby wouldn't give up like that, so she set off to change the world.
Even as Crescent Rose began to feel heavier and heavier. Could she really save the world like her fairy tale heroes? All she did is what she's always done and never stopped moving forward.
Because Crescent Rose wasn't the only thing she needed. She had to improve her semblance too.
Right. While aura is essentially the manifestation of one's soul, the semblance...
Okay. I see. This is... Okay, so the video that I'm watching is called Death Battle. It is a series on YouTube that you can watch through. They have several different episodes and tons of different characters. However, what is being shown right now is called Ruby. And it is a series that was put out on, I think, Rooster Teeth before they ended up inevitably shutting down. And I think you can still watch it in a few places. And it actually is really cool. Like, I enjoyed the series as it progressed. But I digress. That's if you want to go and check those out at some point.
Is an expression of their personality.
Basically, it's a superpower farmed by aura. And Ruby's got super speed. Or a teleport. Or what is she doing exactly?
Close. This is Petal Burst, a mixture of speed, teleportation, and intangibility. Ruby can rocket from one point to another in milliseconds.
By literally bursting into petals.
Sort of. According to Best Robo Girl Penny, Ruby's semblance is extremely complex and variable. It involves breaking her body down to its molecular components before zooming off in complex paths, negating the laws of mass entirely.
AKA Super Speed Plus. And Nora is best girl. Ruby's petal burst is so quick she can make flying missiles look completely still. Good luck tagging her with a bullet. Or a breadstick.
She is certainly quick enough to give Emerald and Mercury a hard time, and they've dodged actual lightning.
She's faster than Blake, who could keep up with the most cringe faunus of all, Adam Turner.
Yeah,
well,
he's
did
cringe.
Draw his sword fast enough to parry an actual particle beam. In real life, such a beam is created by accelerating charged particles to just under light speed.
So, that's impressive.
With such a powerful ability, Ruby could safely shine her smile for years, even as she carried the fate of Remnant across the world. To her friends, she was a beacon of hope.
Well, yeah, because she's got one more superpower. Her silver eyes. Just like her mom, Ruby inherited them from the God of Light as a weapon against negative anti-life energy, like the evil goop Grim spawned from. Just a wink and blam. Sayonara, Dragon of Darkness.
All of them go
Ruby's
bye-bye.
skills didn't falter after her time at Beacon. As she journeyed across Remnant, she leveled up to compete with all sorts of powerful magic and mechanized foes. Her team could even match the Ace Ops, an elite squad of longtime professional huntsmen.
Including Harriet, whose super speed semblance was totally outclassed by Petal Burst. And Vine, whose aura was strong enough to contain a bomb that was about to decimate the whole city of Mantle. Man, these are some pretty powerful auras.
Though it's important to remember, Ruby is only 17 years old.
You smash Ruby?
The weight of being a leader,
bro,
a savior, and a huntress like her
I'd be
mother
down on
would
the
get
entire
heavier
team of Ruby.
And heavier and heavier.
She got over it. Look at her go!
Taking Crescent Rose firmly in hand and sending a message of unity to the
Like,
rest
the
of
entirety
the world.
of their
Ruby
team
had
is,
finally left the
like,
fairy tale
straight up
behind,
full of good
taking one more
waifus.
step toward the day we've waited for.
But, like, if I had to pick one, it'd definitely be Yang.
By Prize Picks.
We all make decisions every day, but
All
on
right.
Prize Picks, making the right choice
Gonna
can get
skip Prize
A sound
Picks.
mind and
'Cause I
a
don't
sound
care.
body.
But all the
in lineups
Okay.
after you play your first $5 lineup.
that's code DEATH to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup.
Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Alright.
A
Come
sound
on.
soul dwells within a sound mind and a sound body.
But all the unjust evil souls of this world are on the Disney Fast Pass to becoming a Kishin.
Destructive gods mutated from good-natured souls. A Kishin could plunge the world into chaos and madness. If only someone could stop them.
Bing bong, it's the DWMA. Welcome to Death Weapon Meister Academy, where death rules.
Yep,
Literally his
quite
name is
literally.
Death.
Here, Lord Death tasks humans to become spiritually talented meisters of demon weapons.
AKA people who are also a weapon. No, really, they transform into weapons.
Which is the
Guns,
coolest
ninja
thing.
stars, hammers, you name it. A Meister weapon pair kills and consumes lost souls to keep the Kishin away. Jack the Ripper? More like Jack the Fraud.
And so, the demon weapon Soul was paired with the dutiful rising star, Maka Albarn.
Talk
Yep.
about your classic teacher's pet. The kind of girl who leaves an apple on the desk and goes, "Teacher, you forgot to give us homework," and then we jump them.
As if
Yeah,
Soul's any
that's exactly
a weapon
right.
Who's too concerned with being cool to do any real work.
Hey, Soul's not just any demon weapon, he's a scythe, and he's got his sights on upgrading to the highest level of Death Scythe.
Which would be a high honor. And lucky for Soul, Maka always
It
aims
is.
high.
With that common goal, Maka and Soul formed the Dream Team. All they needed was 99 Kishin eggs and the soul of a witch. Easy, right?
Maybe, since Maka is extraordinarily perceptive at spotting and examining souls. She can detect spiritual presences from millions of yards away and can discern its nature, stability, and emotions.
Time for class then.
Yeah.
The two trained hard, but their styles kinda weird. Okay, so Maka guides Soul in the direction she wants to go, but Soul, the scythe, does all the actual movements himself. Maka's
Yes.
the Meister, Soul's the weapon.
Like conductor and instrumentalist.
And if either of them is out of sync, then nothing will work. Hence why there was times whenever Black Star would end up picking up Soul and they would end up trying to fight together, and he couldn't do anything at all with Soul because he doesn't know anything about Soul as a weapon. It's kind of crazy to think about it, but basically you have to be perfectly attuned with your weapon, and also you have to be skilled at wielding it. It's crazy. But it's basically for the next purpose that's going to be explained hopefully
Meister weapon
soon.
pair cannot work in harmony without total cooperation.
Yep.
Too bad their teamwork sucked. They fumbled the easiest chance for Death Scythe status. F
Yeah, they
Maka
did.
just could not get in tune with Soul's
However,
wavelength. She was skilled.
They gained
sure,
a
more
really
skilled than
nice
most.
little
Keyword
house witch.
most. There were plenty of rivals showing her up, like Black Star and Tsubaki.
Really puts a
Yeah,
damper
those
on
two
the
are really
straight A's
cool.
when this show off is doing better than you.
It was up to Maka and Soul to improve their teamwork through Soul Resonance.
What I said about wavelength
Yep.
wasn't metaphorical. Rather, wavelengths are the means with which Meister and weapon draw strength through each other. Think of two wavelengths as different emotional amplitudes that must merge at one alignment.
If the Meister's the guitar and the weapon's the amp, then they create a feedback loop to increase its frequency. That's Soul Resonance.
Soul resonance creates a telepathic link and surges their strength and speed.
And preps them for cool scythe moves like the Witch Hunt Slash. A
Yeah,
big
that is
energy
cool.
strike that puts the L in evil.
As the name implies, it works especially well against witches and other evil creatures. It's not exclusive or anything.
It's actually
Yeah.
really deadly against evil because of Maka's rare anti-demon wavelengths. Basically, being a goody little two-shoes gets her the power of purity or whatever.
Maka
Yeah.
and Soul were becoming a synchronized unit, though one would sometimes need to rein in the other's idiotic habits.
And the
Yep,
other guys
which is why
gotta
they end
stop
up
their
bashing each
annoying
other on the head all the
overthinking
time.
whiz.
But everything changed after a unique encounter with Krona, which nearly killed
Poor
Soul.
Krona.
Now Soul had an ogre pal in his head, waiting for him to swing on over and play the piano. Yep, Soul got infected with black blood.
Black blood was specially brewed as a weaponizable blood. It hardens and strengthens its user's body inside and out, increasing their physical ability. They can even block blades with their bare skin.
Too bad it comes with a little
Yep.
side effect of madness with a capital M.
A force of fear
Oh,
and
yeah.
sadness all living things possess, which
It's
threatens
crazy.
to ruin the world.
So it was kind of a big deal that Maka was bummed by how she got Soul in a jam. But thanks to Soul, she got over it and even welcomed in their new little ogre buddy.
Now when Soul plays his grand piano, their soul resonance sings even louder through the black blood.
Giving Maka all the perks of black blood too, even the crazy parts. Bet you didn't expect that, Krona.
But evil saw their plans through. The Kishin Asura had arrived. Madness was spreading everywhere.
So Maka and Soul had to lock in and upgrade their witch hunt to the even stronger demon hunt slash. They went on even more missions to reach souls with classmates like Black Star, and that guy outran his own shadow.
Perhaps the most obvious evidence ever of faster than light speeds, and Maka could finally
Okay. I'm hoping, like, I wish they would talk about this one swordsman's particular style. If I'm thinking of his name right, it's Kibune. Regardless, when he was mentioning that faster than shadow feat, it was off against Kibune. If that's Kifune, I can't remember his name exactly. It's been forever. But regardless, when he was fighting him, he has a sword style where he literally causes it to rain down swords. It is a really cool way of viewing how he fights. And not only that, but he picks up the swords and actually goes to work with them. He's experienced with every one of those swords that he throws, which is crazy.
Keep up with him.
Pair that with her fight with the demon tool Gopher, who could obliterate whole mountains, and you've got one hell of an ass kicker.
And yet, Maka's relationship
Yes.
with Soul still faltered. Soul was the real star here. Even other Meisters were trying to take him as a weapon, away from Maka.
I mean, he literally moves himself, so Maka couldn't help but wonder if she was holding him back all along.
But Soul said the truth. In all of their missions, their teamwork was the key to their victory. An orchestral performance is only as good as the one conducting. And so, their wavelengths played in harmony, and Maka donned a dress of black blood.
It's an armor literally made of blood, and it lets Maka fly around and shoot out her soul as an epic sound wave. So freaking metal!
At the same time, Soul discovered he could hack souls and directly transmit Maka's anti-demon wavelengths, basically shutting their enemy completely down through Soul Adagio.
And they finally achieved Death Scythe. The dream's here, baby.
So when Krona's own black blood reached its final stage, Maka and Soul flew to the moon. A moon small and unassuming, but so dense it has the same mass as the planet itself. The very world's sanity was at stake.
Krona might have gone insane, but Maka still reached out to their new friend Soul until the Kishin showed up to ruin everything. Come on, Asura, they're having a moment here. Timing, bro.
In what would be Maka's final exam,
Yep,
Maka,
the
Soul,
final
and
one.
all of their friends faced off against the Kishi.
And she passed. A+. Maka pulled her weight and perfected her teamwork with Soul. Their wavelengths were pitch perfect.
Which is
Asura
crazy.
did everything he could to separate them, crater them into the moon, punch
Yep.
holes in Maka's chest,
Oh, yeah.
cover their souls with madness, and each time they successfully realigned their wavelengths.
Until they kicked his ass with one final upgrade, the Kishin Hunt Slash. Maka Chop! Now that's what I call absolute cinema.
Because a sound soul dwells within a sound mind and body. So should you feel overwhelmed by evil's roars, just write 42 42 564 whenever you
Hey.
are knocked on death's door.
Beautiful, beautiful
Congratulations to us.
analysis. Like, everything is just perfect. Like, from all the rundown to both of the characters, their abilities, and everything. I genuinely think they could have done a little bit higher scaling for Ruby on some of the things. But just off of what I've seen, I know that I know that this is going to be bad, but Maka is going to win this. I like Ruby more as a character, but Maka is going to win. And it's because of the whole fact that Aura is revolved around they're manifesting their soul around their body. And since Maka has basically a whole tool set that's basically messing with souls, I don't think Ruby's going to be able to get through this. I could be pleasantly surprised,
Wiz,
but
your ego is showing.
I don't
It
know.
always is. And why not? This death battle is episode
Let's jump
200.
to...
Well, yeah, it's a big deal. So we've
Yeah,
got a big
it is
discount on
200.
all.
Yeah, congratulations to Death Battle on their 200th
Okay,
episode.
it's official. This is
All right,
so not cool.
time for peak.
Oh, come on, Soul. Our target should be here, so try helping out. Hi! Who you looking for?
The poorly drawn picture, just like in the beginning.
Little Red Riding Hood. Your humanity is free from its just past, and the Shinigami has called for you. Your boyfriend turns into a scythe on Your soul is ours!
She is always easily flustered. That's so cool. They did the Ruby shot.
I like my soul, thanks.
Music is really good.
Won't lie, Red.
That's Casey Lee Williams.
But too slow for my Meister.
You haven't seen anything yet. Focus. She's got
All right.
it. We can handle it.
Already?
So resonates.
Yeah, get out of there, Ruby. Come on. That was smooth. Oh. Yeah. Maka has no problem with just smacking people. Ooh.
Get back here!
Yep. Get your range, Ruby. Oh man, this is good. Gravity dust. Oh boy. Black dress time.
Interesting. Her soul forms a barrier. Try helping out.
Oh no. Well, jig's up. Soul's playing Paper Moon in the back. Nice.
Sorry, but I'll never stop fighting. I'm Ruby Rose, and I am a huntress.
Soul Adagio.
And there it goes.
Ruby!
Here's the last pull. She has to win with this.
Stay strong, Maka. You got this.
And it's over.
A simple, honest soul. Ruby Rose, huh?
Beautifully made. Everything from their personalities, their characters, their fighting styles, like everything in this was just peak. It was perfect. I don't think they could have done this any better. And plus the double shot with both moons in the background, that was a great attention to detail. Not to mention with Maka saying that she was a simple, honest soul. That was perfect for that. But let's listen to the ending analysis and we'll wrap up this stream.
Rest in peace, Ruby. But hey, it's not often you get to see scythe on scythe action like that.
That is
Let's break
true.
this down with the 4 categories that best represent this matchup. First, strength.
Or a supercharged Ruby's strength way higher than you'd think.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
This Grim through steel. But Maka's soul resonance could match Gopher, who destroyed mountains.
Now, Team
Yeah,
Ruby did defeat
that's-
Vine, whose aura contained a bomb that could have wiped out a city.
Adding up their flight speed and how far Harriet said they'd have to fly to avoid the blast, that's a 366 kiloton bomb.
It's possible Ruby's own aura possesses a similar level of, say, energy strength, though her semblance obviously can't replicate what Vine did.
Hey,
No.
Black Blood Maka got blasted by Asura into the moon. Yeah, it's small, but its mass is the same as Earth's, right?
Putting Asura's strikes at 2 quadrillion tons of TNT,
Jesus.
over 5 billion times higher than Vine.
So Maka takes strength.
Yeah,
but
by
speed
far.
Wasn't as clear cut. Ruby's
Yeah.
a fast little gal. Maka kept up with Blackstar, faster than Shadows and whatnot. But as they improved their skills, Ruby and her friends could outspeed Atom.
Who blocked a particle beam. Though given the distance and time to react,
I need to
Adam
figure out
moved
what that
about
dude's name
42% the
is.
speed of light. Not quite faster than your own Shadow territory. Still, Ruby's Petal Burst has become far faster than this over time, and clearly gives more than a 2-time speed increase on top of that 42%, making her well past light speed.
Definitely enough to take on Harriet, who was all about speed.
Yep.
Angry speed.
This isn't to say Maka couldn't keep up thanks to Soul Resonance, but Petal Burst makes this comparison close enough to call it a tie. And their speed
I can
would
agree
be
with that.
key to winning in skill.
Come on, Wiz. Call it what it really
Ruby's
is.
got this one in the bag.
Scythery.
That's not a word.
Maka's Scythery was pretty good, but Soul does all the movement for her. As a Meister,
Yep.
she was mostly a guide.
It's easy to assume that Ruby's scythery was superior. She's entirely self-sufficient at dancing with her weapon.
Yep.
Soul's own control is still a factor here, but it doesn't change that Ruby's been swinging that thing for way longer than Maka. Ruby's got
That is true.
Scythery in the bag.
Perhaps this edge would be enough for Ruby to avoid Maka's far greater strength if she had the better powers.
So, Aura's
Yeah.
really cool. Barriers, healing, superpowers, and so on. But it's got one big weakness.
It is a finite resource that is required for all of Ruby's powers.
Petal Burst, activating Dust, even powering up Crescent Rose takes juice and some aura. Once it's gone, Ruby's totally vulnerable.
And there's a second key factor regarding aura. It is specifically a manifestation of Ruby's soul.
And Maka's powers are all about taking on souls. Maka had lots of ways to break through Ruby's aura, like Soul Adagio.
And since Maka is exceptionally gifted at examining souls, she could definitely figure out how aura works.
But plot twist, what about Ruby's silver eyes? Her anti-Grim eye beams? Turns out they were actually her best secret weapon.
The negative power of Grim is quite similar
Okay.
to Madness wavelengths, which power Black Blood. Since anti-demon wavelengths can cancel out Black Blood, the silver eyes should achieve a similar effect.
But Maka and Soul's whole story is about reaching that perfect soul resonance. Asura tried every way in the book and more to separate their wavelengths and failed. And we already talked about how much stronger he is than Ruby. Maka takes powers, because when she rose to the occasion, Ruby didn't stand a semblance of a chance and bit the dust.
The winners are Maka Albarn and Soul Evans.
Wait, his name is Soul Evans? Next time on Death Battle.
Alright. Next time. Blade versus
Subscribe and join
Buffy.
as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Blade versus Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's a beautiful little tribute art. So I think that will be all. Also, thank you, B, for having the 3 months in a row. Wanted to let you know that you're not here because you're trying to cook dinner and get a routine. That's all good. That's perfectly fine. But I think I'm going to go ahead and stream here. This will be the end of this video. And I'll probably end up doing another stream at some point. Just not today.
I bought you from the freezer back in aisle 2, glowing in plastic, and I saw it moving too. If I was smart, I wouldn't eat what smells